See, I'm just like everybody else, and I can be very human at times. But it can be very, very, like, supernaturally, like, I don't know, it's not necessarily different. I don't consider it different because when the supernatural exists, it is a normal thing because it always existed. Hello? What became not natural about supernatural? It is natural, but people say that, oh, the supernatural is not real, so it's not natural of a sort of natural being. But the natural of the natural supernatural is a real natural thing that exists. But they don't want to make people accept that. I just explained it pretty good though. Man, sometimes my brain is going a little bit faster than my mouth, and it's almost like it's peak of the crown right now. So holy moly, it's either the equinox or something, but it seems like my lower, the bodily function isn't keeping up with how fast my brain is moving, which is every day is something new. Is what I'm saying. It's on that one video. I got to, well, I don't know if I'm posting that one. See, I got to keep this stuff on the DL now with my emotional state. I shouldn't be doing that, but at the same time, what I was trying to do with it is prove a point to everybody. I'm sorry, but I was trying to prove that point, and sometimes in the songs, I get emotional like that, and it's going to be natural. And they shouldn't delete my account over being like that. Everybody does do that, and I see it all the time, but it's only like, why do people have a problem when I'm singing? Or it's something that I shouldn't do. No one, oh, Cody, don't do that, they say. Okay, no, I'm not just saying people in my family. Just like, say, the general would just not even really think that's normal, right? So, any other song that fits into a category, then it's okay as long as it's by them guidelines. Because they made a rule for it, right? But if something is way more expanded and it's something new yet, then there's no guidelines, then they're saying, oh, well then why can't it be if we're an evolving state? They allow how fast this process goes. And it's about time that we move it a little along further. And I'm encouraging the government, I'm encouraging all these people to get a move on in this. And maybe this was just a little wake-up call to say, that people do care about this world, and they will fight for what's right, and they will do the right thing in different situations, like I said in the words of Wave. And that one I'll put back up, and I still have it. Thank you, God. Because quite literally, that is very important, and that's when I first got the channeling stuff and everything. And the thing is, I should fit in the category of being in that community of other people like that, and it shouldn't be allowed to, when I'm fitting on them categories of things, that then they can't judge me upon whether mine was a little too outstanding for the content or something like that. Because I mean, to be totally honest, these when we truly lift inside of our spirit, even when a young kid, like Jonathan, I really connect because they're more of a pure essence of what it is before it's formed into something that's a little bit more tainted, to be totally honest. Because this world isn't perfect, and we all know that. We can all admit to that. I mean, it's a little bit of chaoticness, and, that's totally honest. And I would want to be speaking professionally and all that, and I will. I'll do whatever it takes, because I'm seriously needing this information to be out there. I'm needing for the world to know and understand what I'm talking about. And it's got to fit on these degrees that we understand. So then we can, the different little perspectives you can put onto the perspectives that you understand, commune like that, but it builds over time then. Then you can see that we relate to them different perspectives, and it builds and we understand each other even more. See, that is the crucial part of how we even develop and grow as a society as it's continuing. And that's the real truth of that scope of it, but then the science and everything that comes along with it, that is to do with the technology that we're able to observe and do things like that. So the spiritual aspect is just something that science can't really measure until, and biology and stuff go along with that. But it's the actual function in itself, though, that really needs to be understood by many people. And like I said before, like, I can see a lot of really, really, really good in everybody. But if they could, I'm not saying I'm creating like warriors or anything, but if they give into their soul more, they'll be less fearless. They're not going to be created into a soldier type of archetype like that, or any. It's going to be more lightheartedness, but we need more of that in the world, so that's what I'm trying to spread across. And the thing is also that it's inside of us to know. I mean, if you do really know inside of you, and you know, then all you got to do is just take a little time. It takes a little time to get up and grow, but you'll show in time, and everything flows. And this is why I document and keep going on a topic like this, because when we're in different polarities and we reflect back and then move forward, we get, caught up into what all that is. And we really need to move forward in order to establish what we're really trying to do. So it takes the willingness of what it is to make that happen. The money could be the motivation, because it can make things happen for you, make things easier, of course. But everybody must have the will inside of them too. I mean, that is something that is free. Everybody can have. The thing is that when the time comes, which I'm hopefully, when people are growing up in these days of where, say, people are realizing these certain things, that they'll be integrated in that fashion to withhold what they could uphold. We don't want to leave them without anything, or without what we truly have. So it's important to keep information safe, and to, somehow, some way, if there was future technology, to put that onto some future technology, just so it can be in the history of what has been happening in this whole cycle of this world. But the only reason why I'm saying that we should just really hold what this is in this day and time is because to our physical reflection of the information of what's established here, of what we put first or not, it's a universal thing. So it's not totally what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is that we move on from the stages that we're living in to the reflection of, say, our past mistakes, and everybody's made them. And the thing is, we're living in a world that's filled with, if people would say it's smooth, you just got to be truthful. Is it really smooth, everybody? Are we having a peaceful time on planet Earth? Are you coping well with certain things that are going on day to day? And do you think that your sanity is a match to this society that we have to keep up with? And we don't really need to keep up with it, but the thing is we got to keep up with each other. See, it's about us. See, emotional states. If we all know that's real, and a real outlook of what we can understand here, alright, so when somebody, say, commits suicide or something, that was because of a reason. And if we weren't acknowledging that reason, that's why it happened. And this world falls short of listening to people. And it's about time that certain people can just say what they need to say about what's truly happening in the world, because they feel it inside of themselves to know that what's better, I mean, Dr. Phil, of what he does it because he he's still doing it because he still cares enough to do it. Because if he didn't, he could have retired already. Because he probably would have enough money. But obviously he's still doing it for a reason now. And the thing is that it's just everything. And I'm not, there's so much that people could look at certain little ways about because of the way the play is all set up here. You know what I mean? But just don't look at the play of what's going on. Just look at the internal of what we are, of what we truly can do inside. And when you prove that to yourself, you're like, oh yeah, everybody can do that with what is truly possible. And it takes a lot of focus and energetic output. Really trying, really caring, and to get to that stage is really hard. It's really, you go through a lot of things. And it's not easy. And I mean, the supernatural, it does exist. And the thing is that that's totally fine. And you guys all gotta know that. And it's not nothing to be scared about. But the reason why you should know is because when you're faced with situations, and when certain things affect you a certain way, it's because of a certain energetic response, right? That's what emotion is. It is. But the thing is that when you're triggered, say when you're alone thinking about something, different things can happen. If you ever get like that, that is because they come in to try to, because when they're busy, you're busy, they do what they do. You know what I mean? They're loving enough to send you little signs so you don't get too alarmed, but they're a loving entity. Like everybody talks about Jesus in the Bible being this really loving person, and he was, and he stood up for a lot of things, and it's said that he got mad a lot of the time. And there's a verse in the Bible where it provokes the Lord into anger. But I can see why he would get angry about injustice. You know what I mean? For the right things not to occur. That would just be not the right thing. Of the understanding of what it all is. So if people don't like pain, right? Most people. I'm not going to say that's 100% fact, right? But if I hit myself hard enough, it would hurt. Now, that pain is not necessarily a good thing to us, of what we observe from it. Now, a loving energy, like if you went up to held a rock or, felt something with texture that gave you a better feeling, now there is a difference. So then there is truth. It comes along with that difference. And if everybody does experience that similarity of that truth, you stem off that as that basis foundation of what all makes up of what everybody talks and observes about through history, whether it's science, whether it's philosophy, art. It is all that information of what makes us up. That's through our being to understand of what this is, because we are a part of it. So, if you didn't understand the complete kind of scope of what I was trying to explain in this time, reread it, or re-go through it, you know what I mean? Or just watch more of my videos that I'll post from before, so you can get a little bit of the history of what I do. I only had 84 subscribers before they terminated my account, and yes, they did say terminate, so it's not like I was, saying that or provoking you. I just want this to go through. I really don't care about getting mad anymore. I want the right thing to happen, and that's all I want to go through. So, and I just wish people could share what I'm kind of really starting to understand all throughout my being of what's going on here. And it's like day to day, it keeps getting clearer to me. And when it gets clearer to all of you, I really like to see that. And we could really work together to make something happen of what we truly want to do. And everybody truly wants that change. And I'm seeing it. And it's going to be a change for the better. And there is no bad change that's going to happen. Let's stick to the outcome. Because, to be totally honest, if no one went to war in the world, if everybody refused to go to war, there would be simply no war. But it's because of the conflict and the confusion that drives people to do certain things, especially over, say, large amounts of land, do different things like that. But listen to me. I'm not like trying to... How am I misleading? Of what I'm saying. I'm not. And my YouTube account, eventually, it should be back up. And if there were some things that I did violate, them could be private or they could be deleted or whatever. I would just like to get some of my information back, and that's pretty much all I ask. So, yeah.